Hi and welcome back to my channel. This is my workshop and I'm Tony, and if you follow me you know that we're right at the end of this Venture kit build. This is the 1:10 scale HPI Venture kit, the FJ Cruiser or Crawler, and I've really and thoroughly enjoyed building it. It's been a really interesting experience, and actually it's come out bigger than I imagined. So it's actually it's probably a little bit longer than my Series 1. So that's that was a pleasant surprise. I love big models, and today's session is all about finishing it off, and this will be the last build session, and in this session it's about getting this body finished. So there's a lot of work to do to this. I've got to clean it, paint it, mask it, drill holes, install all the accessories, and then install it onto the chassis, and then it's complete. And once it's complete, I can then go on and start preparing for my next epic build. If you follow me and you watch the last video, you know that I'm going to be going on to build the Jag Panther, the huge Jag Panther 2 from Armatech. I'm super excited about getting started on that, and I really hope you join me on that journey from unboxing right to the end, where we take it out and do a full test run on it. So anyway, without any further delay, I am going to reposition the camera and we'll get cracking. So I've left the camera where it is for now, because the first thing I'm going to do is have to drill 6 number holes in the top of this roof. I'm going to do all the drilling now before we start masking and painting. I've got my boring tool loaded onto my drill, and I've just got this block of wood here just to help support while I just start the process off. So I'm just going to, excuse the noise, ask for a 4mm hole, so you have to, I will gauge that. It looks about 4mm to me. When you've done this a few times, you kind of get used to it. Just that initial once you get in, it starts opening up. Lovely. And we've got another one to drill here. One here. And then same over here. There's 6 number in total of this size. And the final one for the roof. So that is that. Just come and then just flick off the excess on the inside. I'll carry on doing that before we clean it. That just all snaps off. I'll also will test fit the roof fittings that go through this. Now there's also some holes to be drilled for little wing mirrors, but I'm going to use a little drill bit for that, both sides, and there's a door handle on the back like so. And I think that'll be all of the holes that we're going to need to drill, pretty sure. So I'll go and get my drill bit, and we'll just do the holes in the back and for the wing mirrors. So there's a couple of little holes here that need to be drilled for the boot handle. And this is just a 1.5mm drill bit. Just clean off that off the back of it, and then we've got the same 2 little holes for the wing mirror. Don't put too much pressure on that. Don't want to bend it. Just flick off that spoil at the back of it, and it's again marked here quite clearly. Oh, the drill's wandering. That's it. So that's the holes drilled for the... You can't go wrong because they're all marked on there for you. So that's all the holes drilled, I believe. Now it's time to just do a bit of cleaning and start masking off. Very important to get this inside of the polycarbonate clean, and I'm using these multi-purpose wipes to achieve that. And then I'll go around with a bit of kitchen roll just to dry off the excess. So you want a good bond with the paint and the inside of the polycarbonate. So that's that. Then we'll just use a bit of kitchen roll, just a kitchen towel, paper roll, whatever you call it, just to dry that off. Now, first things I'm going to do is I need to mask off this, I need to paint this roof. So I'm going to have to mask off everything in here, so it allows me just to paint the roof its colour, which I'm going to go for a silver colour, a dark grey, metallic grey. I just think that's going to look really smart because I'm going to use the colour I'm using, hopefully is going to contrast really nicely with that. So I'll just get ready and I'll be back to camera very shortly. So in order to mask off the roof, we're going to have to go around with a band of tape first, just to get to define the line. And this is going to be really tricky. I'm not going to do all of this in real time. I'm going to do some of it in real time and then ask Ben to do his magic and speed the whole process up. But so what I'm doing here is I'm just going over just following the line of the roof, then using a very sharp scalpel. Going to use that to trim the excess off. I don't want that on there, so I can get that off. Sorry, I can't get the camera in here because it's it'd be really awkward. But I will show you once I've got through this bit here what we're trying to achieve. So I'm using the profile, the raised profile of the windows to run my scalpel along. Pick this up. Sorry, I'm concentrating as I'm talking to you. So I'm a bit quiet, apologies. Just trying to make sure I don't mess this up. That should now lift off. And you'll see that that's going to be the line of the roof. So this colour here will be up here. Then I'm going to protect everything else on here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carry on. I'm going to ask Ben to speed up the whole process for me. From here, please, Ben. Okay, so now I'm ready to paint the roof. I'm not going to mask the whole body off. I'm just going to be very careful how I paint the inside of the roof, and hopefully I'm going to end up with, when I remove all this masking tape, I'll get a lovely crisp line around the roof as intended. So I'm just going to bring this over to my paint bench now with my metallic grey paint that I'm going to use for the roof, and I'll be back shortly. Right, so while I'm waiting for the roof to dry, I thought I'd just assemble these roof bars. Very simple. There's a connecting plastic piece here which slides into that, and another one into that, and they just slot together, push together tight, and then we have these crossbars here, and I think we've got 1, 2 and 3. Let's have a look. Oh, and there's one on the top. So then they just clip together. Quite flexible. There we go. Sorry. Going like that, and then the top one just goes across the top, snaps into place, and that's your roof bars. Obviously when it's all on the roof it will be a bit more stable, but that's as simple as that. And then there's just some clips. There's a tiny little hole in this. There's a little clip that secures it on top of the roof. When that's done, go on now and do the mirrors. Very simply, we've got a sticker, a reflective or metallic sticker that goes on the surface of that. Try and put it on as square as possible. That then pushes into that. No need to glue, it just push fits. So that's your first mirror. Try and get this off. Same thing again, I'm just going to hold that. Try and put it on as square as possible. Perfect. And that just push fits again into the mirror housing. Doesn't come out, and there's a little raised area here and here, and they ask you to pop on a reflector. Another sticker just goes on there. Like that. All little jobs you can do while you're waiting for the paint to dry. It's metallic, so it tends to take a while to dry, and then it needs a few coats to build up. There's your 2 little mirrors, and they're the pieces that go on the back and secure it on the inside of the body shell. Let's just go off now and just check, see how my paint's drying. So another job we can do while we're waiting for the paint to dry is sort these lights out. So in the kit that I bought, and these are widely available all over the internet for RC cars, and if you type in 1 to 10 scale lighting kit, you will find something very similar. I've got 2 lenses. I'm just trying to find them. There we go. 2 lenses which we're going to use to stick onto, glue onto here, but these come with a sort of an underside entry to them. I don't want that, because all I want to do is basically glue. I'll make sure I've got the right lights. I want to glue my LED lights straight into the back of that, so they come out like that. So I don't need to feed the wire into this here. So what I did with this, I just snipped off this piece here and then I use my bench sander to just gently grind down. So that's that snipped off. Now I'm just going to use my bench grinder to smooth that off. So that's them both nicely ground down. I will not put the lights in just yet because obviously I need to be able to fit them in from behind, and if I do that now I won't be able to do that because these are going to be installed through the front of the body. But I can glue on the lenses. So they just, do they pop in or do I need to glue? Oh, they do pop in. Oh no, I will need to glue them. So they will need to be glued, but they do have a nice pop when you snap them together. So a little bit of glue I think would be required. I'm just going to pour a little bit of glue onto that. I mean, when I install these, I'll make sure the lenses are rotated around so they're the same direction. I'm not bothered for the purposes of this exercise. That's it. So that's that one in. Do the same with that. All these little details make the difference when your model's finished. Well worth doing. I think this little kit cost me about £8, the lighting kit. In my eyes, that's good value for hopefully we get a good end result. So I might just put the bulb in and test it and see what it looks like when it's on. So let me just rig up the car and we'll do that. So I've just powered up the car. So the plan is when these lights are on the car, I'll glue them in from behind like that. We turn the light on. Look at that. That's pretty smart, right? Yeah. I think they're going to look really smart. So that's the roof finished, dried. It looks a bit odd because it's got the plastic protection on this. Now I was thinking, obviously when you pull off the plastic protection you get this lovely glossy finish to the whole of the car. However, these mudguard here, or these arches here, and this trim here, and wheel arches here, and round to a point on here, is all supposed to be black. But it would be plastic, so it wouldn't be glossy. So I've not done this before, but I'm thinking I'm going to mask off this around here so that I'll paint the surface of the polycarbonate body in the black matte, so it gives you that effect that it's a plastic, and the contrast between the glossy finish of the paintwork on the inside and the trim on the outside would work better. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, in the middle of doing that. And of course, if I do that, I'm going to have to cut and remove the plastic protection just on this bottom section here. So I've gone ahead and I've started masking off, the initial masking off of all the bits that I want to paint in the black. I'm going to carry on now. I might be making a mistake here, but I think it will look right, as opposed to, it shouldn't be glossy. Well, that's my view anyway. So I'm just going to carry on masking this off, and once I've got the area completely masked off, then I'll go ahead, I'll mask off a lot more of this so I can freely spray the bottom of this. And then I'm going to go on and I think I've decided that the decals, I'll show you in a minute, the decals you get with this for the Toyota is quite smart, and the windscreen and all that's quite smart. So I may end up using the decals, and that would mean I don't have to worry about masking out the windows. I've changed my mind, but I guess that's what happens when you're modelling. You change, when you're building models I should say. Oh, there's no way I'm a model. That would be just ridiculous. So now I'm just going to use my very sharp scalpel blade Just using my finger just to run that round so I get the shape of it. Just peel that off so I get that nice arch. And this is a bit tricky around the front, but we'll build it up. So I'm going to carry on doing this, and then once I've completed this, I'll come back to camera and we'll start talking about painting the inside. So that's all the areas initially masked off. Now what I'm going to do is I want to remove the protective film just on the parts that I want to spray black. So I'm just going to go around with my scalpel, just trace around the profile where I want that removed, and pull that off. I'm going to have to go along here and just gently cut in that groove. And then follow this up around here. Now, advanced builders of models like this are probably screaming at me going, that's not how I would do it, but this is how I'm thinking of doing it. I just don't think it should be shiny, this bit. So we'll just carry on. So I'm holding my breath as I'm doing this, I don't want to make a mistake. So hopefully that will all just peel off, and it does. So that's, maybe you can see the contrast with the shiny part here and the dull part. Same on there. Now it's time to give the inside a bit of a clean. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to paint the whole of the inside of the upper body, and I'm going to use these transfers to stick to the window, because I was thinking about masking the windows out so you could see inside the vehicle, but I've decided that's I've changed my mind, and I'm going to use these lovely decals, and I think that's really going to finish it off. And you know, really, what benefits are there for me to look inside it? There isn't really. So that's next job is clean the inside of this bodywork, and then give it final coat, or its coat of colour, which I'll reveal once I've done it. I'm not going to film it because I can't open the doors of my workshop, so I'm going to put it on my paint bench, and I'll show you the results very soon. Okay, so I'm happy with the body, the upper body now. I've gone for a camel yellow, completely different to what you normally see on these. I just love this colour, and actually when I was a kid, my very first bicycle, not a car, my very first bicycle was this colour, and I just have a really fond memory of that bicycle because it used to break all the time. But anyway, I loved it. It was my very first bike. So now I've masked off everything. That I'm not going to worry about the roof because it's still got its protective cover on it, and I'm now going to spray the arches and the seal here and all around the back of the bumper here in the black, and then once that's done and dried, we can start putting the decals and stickers on and all the accessories, and it's going to really start taking shape. So that is the wheel arches and the door sills and all that painted, and you can see it's actually quite a nice contrast. I think that'll look better. So now it's time to take all of the protection off, all of the masking tape off, and unveil what I hope is going to be something pretty smart. Obviously we're going to have to pull the stickers on. I love the colour I've gone for on this. Might ask Ben to speed this up actually, just so that, yeah, I'll tell you what, Ben, can you speed up this and then we'll get all this off and then I'll be able to present this hopefully as a finished thing and just ahead of us putting the stickers on. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've finished all the accessories and stickers. I've got Ben to speed all that up because it couldn't be any simpler. You get really clear instructions about what goes where, and then I've just added a few more decals and stickers because I just love HPI and I just think that it should be all over the car. So I'm really pleased with that. I really like the colour. Right, now let's talk about the headlights. So first thing I need to do is drill out the hole here at the front to suit my headlights, which will be made up earlier on. So I'm going to use my boring tool and I've got it loaded into my drill. So we're just going to start. I've already drilled the pilot hole. I don't think the hole is going to be big enough. I might have to open it up a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the boring tool and just try and just ream that hole out. I'll keep trying this. It's not far off now. A little bit more. Just keep trying that. Almost there. That's pretty much where it needs to be. I'll show you that. So just a little bit more, I think, and then we're in good shape and I can glue that in. That's perfect. So that just needs to be glued in. So I'll go ahead and I'll go on and I'll do that. I'll get this one glued in and we'll put this one in and then we can look at wiring up the lighting. So that's the lights now drilled out and glued in, as you can see, looking really smart. Now it remains to just need to spin this over and then we're going to, at the moment, all we're going to do is just pull these wires gently apart and then I'm just going to glue these in from the back. So I'm just going to apply a bit of glue. This is the B7000 glue. Let's pop that into that. And then once this glue has gone off, we can have a look at the back and the rear lights and see what we can do to get those looking smart. So going to wait for that glue to go off, and what I'll probably do is I'll probably end up taping this cable onto the inside of the bodywork. I'll show you this side, sorry, onto the inside of this bodywork. So all I've got to worry about is just connecting this onto the Y splitter as we've previously installed into the receiver. So we'll wait that glue to go off and then we'll start thinking about the back. Right, so the glue's gone off, happy with that. Now I'm just going to remove a little masking disc that I've previously installed on this at the back, just so there's a bit of a clear space or a clear area that the light can pass through. Plus, being that it's a cool white, it should illuminate through the sticker and allow us to see the light. So I'm just going to tape this into place. So I'm just going to use some of this gel tape I've got here. Just cut a piece of that off. Just going to put the first one, just stick that to that first. Make sure that that light is positioned right where the gap is. That's all you need to do. Do the same on the other side. Just tape it over the heat shrink sleeve. Position that just where the clear area is. Make sure that's nicely stuck down, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, what you want is you want enough flexibility so when you've got the body away from the car you can easily disconnect the leads, so you don't want it tight. So just put another bit of gel tape. I'm going to stick it to this side. Just going to make sure that this goes on without interrupting anything. That's absolutely fine. Perfect. That's all we need to do with that. And then on this one, all I'm going to do is just put a little bit of gel tape on the under the bonnet side. I'll put the gel tape, there it is. And then I'm going to plug it in and see how well it works. So just avoiding the holes. So now let's just plug this in. Hopefully everything's still working. Make sure I've got the right colour coding. Just plugging it into the splitter. Now, let's see if we can turn the handset on. Turn the car on. That's it bound. Turn the lights on. Wow, well the lights are working, but how well? Oh, look at that, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. You can just about see the lights illuminating from the back. I'm quite happy with that. Yeah, I might just put a bit of a shroud around that, but I think that's pretty good. And let's have a look at the front headlights. Whoops, look at that. That's pretty good, right? Yeah, right, lovely. Now I'm just going to put everything back on the car, and we'll give it a little bit of a test. So this is its first proper test. Lights on. Sorry, it's out of camera shot. All in all, very happy with that. I will at some point in the future, when the weather improves. I don't really like to get these models, especially I've just finished them. I want to try and wait for a drier day. I'll put some obstacles out and see how it crawls over them. But yeah, I'm really pleased with that. What a great little kit. I'm quite happy with the colour scheme as well. I'd love to know what you say in the comments, guys. I really appreciate it. So anyway, let's get this back on my bench, and we'll do a final sign off. Do you know what? I love this kit. I absolutely love it, and I love the way it looks. I'm really pleased how it's turned out, and I really will give it a real test as soon as the weather improves. I'm just a bit precious about, when you finish a model like this, I'm very precious about just getting it grubby, as you saw when I did the Baja. But when the weather's dry, I will put some obstacles out and we'll do some climbing just to really give it a really good test. So if you've followed me in this build, thank you for keeping with me. Hope you've enjoyed the whole series. I just want to say a massive thank you to HPI Racing for sending me this incredible venture kit. And if you're considering buying one of these and you're not sure, I would go for it. What I love about it is that the SBK kit itself allows the builder to customize it to, you know, however you want it. It's great getting it out of the box ready to run, fantastic, but there's a lot of satisfaction in building this yourself. And you know, if you want to, the different body types you can put on this, different bumpers, different wheels, different color schemes, however you want to go is what's the beauty of something like this. So if you're on the cusp and you're not sure, do you know what, I wouldn't hesitate, I'd do it. And as I said before, HPI Racing are a brilliant company. They will support you if you have any problems whatsoever. So anyway, thank you for joining me on this build. Next time you see me, it will be me unboxing my Jag Panther, my Armatech 1/6 scale full metal kit, and I am buzzing about getting started on that. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, because we've got a long way to go. And as I said earlier in this video, I am also looking to line up a Challenger build, Challenger 2, the tank that Armatech have announced for release later on this year. So that's also in the pipeline. So I really do hope you do subscribe, and thanks again to all of you for all your amazing support, all those wonderful comments, all those thumbs up, and a massive thank you to my son Ben for editing all my videos. And I'm sure Ben's going to do a bit of a montage about this build as he normally does, and I hope you enjoy that as well. So the next time I see you, it will be back to building Armatech tanks, and I look forward to seeing you then. My name's Tony, I love building these kits, and I can't wait to get started on my next build.